have it as a null, and we know the stroke volume is equals to V1 minus V2. Why is that actually? Let me draw the PV diagram. So we have an isentropic and Otto cycle, an isentropic problem. So we have the isentropic compression from 1 to 2. So it's going to be, that's 1 and that's 2, 3, 4 and 1. I'm sorry for this bad handwriting, but it is what it is, you know. So we have the W equals to 0. I really have a bad handwriting, man. W equals to 0. So 1 to 2 is isentropic compression, and what does stroke volume mean is the difference between V1 and V2, right? So let me draw something here to make it clear. That's the stroke volume, the difference between these two. And why is that? Because in 2 to 3 we have V2 equals to V3, V4 is equals to V1. That's isochoric, right? That isochoric compression and expansion. That's expansion, that's compression. So the first thing we need to know about the PV diagram. All right, so we also need to know the equations, which means, let's say for the first process we had an isentropic compression, right, in Otto cycle. So it's going to be like 1 to 2, P1 V1 gamma equals to P2 V2, also gamma, right? Then V1 divided by V2 equals to P2 divided by P1 1 over gamma, because we already flipped that shit. And gamma equals to 1.4, and we need to do the math, right? So let's say, and let's calculate that. V1 equals to V2 equals to 17 for the P2. We already have P2 as 17 divided by 1 over 1.4. That will equal 7.56 already, right? So V1 divided by V2 equals to 7.56. V1 divided by V2 equals to 7.56 already. Next thing we need to do, we need to find the maximums. So the first question is, what's the maximum temperature? Find out the maximum temperature, and we know the maximum temperature is T3. Why? You can see this. You can just see the graph, right? So the next step I'm gonna do is like write the equation. P1 V1 equals to RT1 already. So we need to find V1 so we can find V2. We already have the pressure. P1 is 1 bar, but it's equals to 1 times 10 power 5. We already had this equation, and that's the math already. So V1 equals to R, we're gonna be 287 multiplied by 303 Kelvin divided by 1 times 10 power 5. I think if you change something, if you change it to Celsius and you keep the pressure in bar, it's gonna be the same answer. I'm not sure. You can do the math, right? So the answer is gonna be like 0 point something.